Howdy. I think it's part 13, I don't really remember. Since you last saw me, I have been editing the vocal tracks, making them pitch-wise really good, timing-wise good enough, and also messing around with volume levels just so they're kind of even volume-wise. And then what I did is I bounced all of them. Basically what that does is it kind of sets all the editing that I've done, so it just takes up less space because now it doesn't have to remember all the edits that I made because now that's just part of what the track is. So I'm getting into that stage where it's time to just like make it sound good because all the tracks are there. They're all in terms of performance how I want them to sound. Right now they sound good enough to my ears, so I'm just gonna roll with them for now. I'm just gonna make edits to volume stuff, EQ, I'm gonna put effects, you know, reverb, delay, compression, all that stuff, and then I'll get a decent mix and then I'll go into the mastering phase, and then once that's done, then I can put the song out. Okay, let's get started. So I guess first up, I kind of want to just add some like basic effects to these vocals. A little bit of EQ on every single one of these. I just like to take out some of the low end, add the high end so it sits on top of the mix a little better. Bus 34 is going to be my vocal reverb bus. The bus is sending all of these tracks basically through this new track that I made. That the new track is literally just reverb. I can't really explain super well how it works. I don't really fully understand it, to be honest. But it makes it sound good, and that's what I like to do. So as I turn this up, you'll hear it get more reverby. Maybe, but what about the Santa Stout has got you now? Yeah, ain't that heaven up a floor? Thought you never wanted more. This is a funky kind of song. You don't want the like huge, massive like tunnel type of reverb. Some of the songs will probably benefit from something like that, but this song is not one of them. But what about the Santa Stout has got you now? Yeah, have you had enough of my lies? It sounds a little over the top, echoey right now, but with the mix it'll be harder to hear. So now I am using, this is a plugin that I didn't used to use, but I found that it is very helpful. And your back's against the door. You say we're still worth fighting for, but you don't mean it anymore, 'cause words don't mean nothing. I'm really not an expert when it comes to this stuff. This is a suggestion that I got from my brother, and I did it on my EP, and I like how it sounds. I mess with the knobs, and then it makes it sound louder and bigger and like crisper. I don't know what it's doing. I don't know the science behind it, but I like how it sounds, so whatever. Let's do some compression. Have you had enough this time? Maybe you're no longer blind. Have you had enough of my lies? Seen I'm really not that nice. I'm needing this, are you there for it? Yeah. Kinda like bright vocal for this. Ain't that heaven up a floor? Thought you never wanted more. I know we. So this sounds weirdly really good. I've done a lot of work to make all the tracks sound really good, but I've never had a song sound this solid. I mean, I've literally been filming for 14 minutes. That makes me suspicious. I mean, maybe it shouldn't. Maybe it should just make me happy, but yeah, it makes me a little suspicious. Never end. I'm gonna make these like really, really echoey. I think that'll sound really good. Never end. Never end. Honestly, since it's sounding so good right now, I think I'm just gonna skip right into the mastering phase. Because usually how this works with me is I go into the mastering phase and then other problems present themselves. I tend to not see those problems until I get there. I'm not hearing any problems right now. It sounds solid to me. The reverb and the echo and that stuff, I'm gonna, you know, turn it up and down as the song goes, because maybe in the verses I want it to be less reverby, more reverby in the chorus so it's bigger. I'm not gonna hear how that really will sound until I've done some of the mastering, some of that, trying to make the song bigger. Once I get a master that sounds good in here, then it's testing it in the car, it's testing it in earbuds, with headphones, as many different ways that I can possibly test it just to make sure it sounds good in every possible scenario. If this goes well, I'll go into that phase a lot earlier than I thought I would. So on the stereo master track, I'm going to put a plugin called Isotope Ozone 7. The big thing that this has is a like big compressor that will make the song louder and just kind of smush it all together. So I'll show you the difference, right? This is where it was. I turned down the volume on the speakers. This is where we're at now. This is crazy. It sounds good. I barely did anything. They don't mean nothing. Yeah, this guy's just gonna be real high-endy. So he kind of sits on top. I can make him quiet, but he'll still stand out. Wanted more. I still need to mess with the volume of a lot of these tracks. The harmonies are a little too loud in certain parts. I'm gonna find a reference track for this, because that's always a good thing to do. The one that comes to mind is Suit and Tie by Justin Timberlake. It's got kind of that same tempo, same groove. It's a very different song, but I mean, in terms of production, I love it. I can already tell, I think I have it too bassy. So now we're peaking a little too high. So here's what I do. At the very bottom of the effects stack, which basically means it's last, I'm gonna put an adaptive limiter. All I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make sure that this has a ceiling of -0.1 decibels. And what that means is that the whole song is not gonna get any louder than -0.1 decibels. If the tracks that are coming in are way louder than -0.1, then it'll cause problems. But nothing here is doing that because I made sure that everything was down to -18 or lower. I can't say it sounds louder. It certainly sounds better. You know, I can't expect to be as well produced as that album, because that album is crazy well produced. Yeah, I mean, you know, listening to it here, it needs work. I'm still kind of shocked at how quickly this is sounding workable, but it's certainly not where I'm gonna try and listen to it in the car and do all that stuff. I mean, I guess I'm gonna stop here. Usually what I like to do is listen to this really loud, listen to it really quiet, listen to it, you know, standing over there, listen to it sitting really close to the computer, far from the computer, maybe even outside. You know, I want to just get a sense for like what this thing sounds like everywhere, all the while comparing it to the reference track. Maybe I'll get to doing that tomorrow. Hopefully I can. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, turn on notifications, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Big Time Carl Ward is my username. I will see you when I see you. Now, look at me, I'm